Hey everybody, I'm Steph.
I'm Michael.
Today we have our top 10 games that we learned in April 2024.
Yep. And I got to say, the first part of the month, super slow gaming because from the end of February to the near the middle of April, the beginning of April, no games were played. Hardly.
We've been moving, so it's been nonstop that for a while. But we did manage to get away.
Yes.
And I learned 51 games.
And I learned 49. So, and we learned a lot more than we did in March, which, if you remember, was a super low play month.
That was 20.
It was, I think I was at 19. It was super low.
So,
better month.
We're only going to get better from here because now we're officially moved.
We're moved, as you can see from the new layout.
It's just a matter of getting everything organized. But
that's right.
Games are more fun. So
that's right. So, without further ado, let's get into this. Amazingly, normally I put out a disclaimer that if I don't mention it, the games are review titles. However, there were not many review titles since we were playing mostly other people's games.
That's right.
So
most of these are not review.
Most of these are not review. So we will mention it whenever a publisher has provided a copy of these games. However, they don't provide us these copies of the games in exchange for being mentioned on this video. They gave them to us because they know we like to play all the games. So without further ado, let's get to my number 10.
Number 10.
My number 10 is a game from Office Dog called Word Traveler. So in Word Traveler, you are given a passport that is going to be locations on a grid map of London or New York, depending on which side of the board that you play on.
I think there's 4 maps included.
Oh, there are.
So yeah.
I did not realize that.
So I think I remember that.
So in any case, there's just basically going to be, I believe it's a 7x7 grid. We all start in the middle.
Yeah.
And what we're trying to do is we are trying to work together to express the locations we want to visit by giving descriptive clues. Like we will have adjectives in our hands that will say gigantic, sturdy, sparkly, gross. You know, right?
Yes.
So, if I wanted to go first to the Golden Gate Bridge, if it were San Francisco, and then I wanted to go over to Roaches and then go to the pier, I need to come up with different adjectives that I have in my, I think we have 10 adjectives in our hand.
Yeah, and you can use as many as you want.
Use as many as you want. So I could say sturdy and gross.
Or you could turn it around to be not sturdy.
Yes. You will also give a direction that you are traveling. So let's say that the first move that I want to make has me going north. Well, there's only like 3 choices there. So hopefully I've given adjectives that will explain one of these 3 and leading you away from the other one. Sort of like, you know, a picture-based code names.
Sure.
But you can give as many of those adjectives as you want. Or you can even give just one if you want to save the other ones for other things. And I forgot to mention, if like the adjective is gross on the backside, it's not gross.
Yeah, I said that.
Oh, you did say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I did not hear. So, and then let's say I want to go east and then I want to go south. Well, then based on what I have answered, they try to everyone else tries to plot my route for me. I don't know too many words. I'm a foreigner here, so I'm trying to get them to go from point A to point B to point C.
Right. Well, that's why it's cool because, like, well, if you really think it's something, but then it doesn't line up with anything else, well, maybe you have it wrong. You have to try and rethink your path.
And they basically...
And so that's why it's interesting.
Yes. And you will lock in my position, and you're like, how many do we have right? Hopefully we have a lot so that we can get a lot of points. So
It's cooperative, so you want to work with people and you want them to get where you're landing, and you want to get the points for everything.
It does, but not much like Codename Pictures. It is in the case that you want to lead them towards the right thing and away from the things that is not.
Right. It's not
like Codenames. But
right.
yeah,
it's different for sure.
Yeah, same but different.
Yep. That's exactly right.
So I think in the first round, you have to do 3 locations, and the second round, you basically get another passport and do it all over again, but you have 5 rounds trying to maximize those points. And some of them are worth double points. Pretty fun game. Check that out from Word Traveler. It's Office Dog.
Yeah, that's good.
You're number 10.
My number 10 is actually a party game where you break up into teams.
And it's a review game.
It is. It's called Task Team. This is a mixture of it's unique. It's definitely unlike other party games because it has like some dexterity, it has some knowledge, quick based things, but it has random things, random tasks that you're doing. Like toss these little 3 like tokens and try and make the smallest triangle.
That was hilarious.
It's really funny.
And I landed mine like right next to each other. It's like, do we even have to measure? And
then another one was like, someone point out something in the room and say, and then you
how big is it in centimeters?
And then teams have to discuss by looking at it from afar and trying to guess, and whoever gets closest will win that.
Now you might say, task. How am I supposed to figure this out? I don't have anything that measures whenever I'm playing a game. Oh, look, these things are available in the game box, 1 per team.
That's right. Another task would be like, stack these dice using 2 cards, and whoever does it fastest. Or
stack them up.
Words can you think, like, go back and forth saying words that start with OFF. And then you just go back and forth until someone can't. Random things. It's like totally bizarre, but it was a ton of fun. We had a lot of fun playing that.
Some things take dice. Some things take timers. Some things take drawing. And so you've got all of these. Oh, some things require the use of the top. Mm-hmm. All sorts of different things. It is, I got to say, it's pretty unique, and at the same time, it is quite hilarious.
Yeah, I had a great time playing it. So.
Unexpected, because normally you think party game, you're like, don't need it, or it's been done before. This, not been done before. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, I had a good time playing that one. So, and you can have 3 teams because one team is gonna be reading.
Matter of fact, you must have 3 teams.
Yeah, so you're gonna need to break up into 3 teams, and you could do a solo team.
Yes,
you were playing by yourself.
I was playing by myself.
So you just kill the cards that need.
Yeah, if you need 2 players and I'm just 1, we kill the card.
So it's really simple to like breeze through these things.
Plays 3 to 18 people, so you can have a huge group or a small group.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's basically 2 people go against each other, and the third team is the referee. Winner stays, loser drops out and becomes referee.
Yep.
That's it. That's pretty much all the rules.
Yeah, it's cool. That's a fun game.
Task Team by Gigamic.
Yep.
And it is, as you can tell, a review copy.
Yep.
My number 9.
Number 9
is so did you just pick this up off of someone's table? And
I got it at Granite.
Oh, you bought it at Granite, and it ended up
thinking the VFM
where we were. Yeah. So and it was super cute, called Forest of Fate by a company named Cards of Fate.
Yeah.
So we knew nothing about it going in. It is a cooperative game where you line up multiple cards. It's basically your path home. Why is it your path home? Because you are adventurers who have finished the great adventure that you were doing. And now you have to get home with whatever magical artifact that you've come up with. So you start with that artifact or object or whatever it is. And then we head towards home. Well, we're going to go on these card paths. You're going to reveal a card. You are going to see what the options are, and you're going to read what's on the card. And then you can choose from the options on the side of the card. And it'll say, if you choose to sneak, you need to enter into your phone, into an app, number 594, and then it will read back to you what happens. And so if you choose to fight, you choose something else. It's very much in the vein of Tales of the Arabian Nights, a choose your own adventure style game. So if you lose all of your hit points, your character is eliminated. And we did not encounter this because we both survived.
Mhm.
But supposedly if you die, you turn your character over, it becomes a shade, and you can start playing against the other player.
Oh, God.
Or something like that. We didn't see any of that. So
We played well.
we played well. So we got back with all of our stuff. If you come back with certain items, you'll get additional bonus points. It was really cute.
It's cute.
It was unexpected too, because it's like one of these games that's
Really
not on
small
my radar at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not.
So my number 9, Forest of Fate.
Nice.
Your number 9 was a review copy.
Hey, guess what?
Hey, we've played this before.
Bucks.
We just played this.
We just played this, so if you're looking for a teach and playthrough, make sure to check out that other video.
Yep, we have separate videos for teach and playthrough, just in case you want one versus the other on this.
Yeah, so I really like the card play here. I like how you're getting these abilities. All of them seem really great, and the ones that are on display seem really great. You're like, well, but you only get so many that you can pick, and so you're gonna want to go ahead and choose wisely.
You probably need to say
What?
Civ Builder now on Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, but we just streamed it.
Yeah, but
Which is it, right?
yeah, but yeah, you can't assume.
You're right. It is a pretty heavy. I would say it's heavy Civ Builder. If you haven't played a Civ Builder, it will feel bigger than
medium. I
yeah,
think.
but it's
Maybe lighter than heavy.
Clash of Cultures. It will still run long because the choices that you make will add up to it's 18 action. Well, it's 18 turns.
18 turns.
True action.
Maximum 36 action.
Yeah, so it's lots gonna happen in the game. So it's not small.
Right.
But it is on Kickstarter now, so be sure to check it out.
Small friends.
Don't wait.
Or it'll be too late.
Too late. But I think it's pretty good, especially if you're looking to get into this Civ game that is not too complicated, because I feel like it's straightforward. I feel like what you're doing is fairly straightforward. So yeah,
I agree.
I think it's pretty good.
Hello, Barry. That is your number 9, Epochs Course of Cultures from Ice Makes now on Kickstarter. Right. My number 8, another unexpected one, from Pegasus Spiel, Port Royal Dice. This is one that we played with Dan.
It is, you're right.
Yes. So there is one that we played. So everyone gets a pad. We all start from the same spot on the pad, and basically you are trying to maneuver your boat all over the map in order to cross off islands, get bonuses for those islands, which will allow you to do certain things with your dice. So I'm going to roll 2 dice, and it's going to come up with a column and row. And what's going to happen is you're going to have to put a pirate ship on that row that matches that row. So if I've rolled the black row, which is the pirate ship row, I have to put it in the correct column. If it is in the last column, instead of putting a pirate ship, you're going to put a little steering wheel. Or if it's one of the higher up rows, it's maybe 2 or 3 columns to the right that has a steering wheel. Well, what happens if you've already placed the pirate ship or you've already placed the steering wheel for that row? You have busted. And you get none of the things that you have built up. But if you have placed 2 or 3 or 4 pirate ships and steering wheels on the board, you're going to get more and more bonuses. Maybe you get to mark off more spots. Maybe you get to get more things that give you bonuses. After you have taken all of the bonuses that you want, then we go around the table, each player taking 1 bonus of their own. If you take certain ships worth of bonuses, you might take damage. I think the one weakness of this roll and write game is the fact that I only saw 1 map. Was there more than 1 map? I thought I only saw 1 map in the box. I could be mistaken.
I'm not sure.
I don't remember.
There might be. I'm not sure.
So there may be strategies that tend to work more often than others. But I don't know that for sure because we only played the one game. It was entertaining enough to hit my number 8 position.
I like the card game a lot, actually. Like Dan says, I think I'd rather play the card game, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't play the dice game because either way, I still get to push my luck and lose, so it works. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. All right.
Did not make your top 10.
Nope.
Because you had some games in your top 10 that I did not even play.
Nope.
So.
My number 8.
Not a review, but I wish it were. Artipia.
Yeah. Is Ceres? I don't know.
Yes.
It's yeah. I don't know. Space.
I don't know. Space.
It is a worker placement game with multiple levels of worker placements, if you will, because there's like a community of worker placements, but also you have your discs, and you want to try and get to the spaces before everything gets eaten up. And so if you see someone going for something, you got to make sure to jump on that bandwagon before it's too late, because you don't want to...
Don't wait, or it'll be too late. So yeah, you've got different colors of workers.
Yeah, so it's
like
cool.
Red workers and green workers and gray workers.
Right.
And those workers can do certain things. So if you want red workers and you see there are no red workers coming in on the shuttle ships coming in, you might want to snag some red workers just to make sure that you have the red worker available for your red industry.
Yeah, and so there's different strategies to go about in this game. So I do like that. Michael took the way of the ice, and I didn't really do as much ice, but I built a lot of cards. Like I had a lot of cards. So I was getting my points from that engine. So there's different ways to go about getting points, and whoever has the most points will win.
You need ice to be able to go farther
and go into space,
go further into the asteroid mining. Blah blah blah. So you're mining a bunch of asteroids.
Yeah,
and so
it's cool.
It
was smooth.
It was smooth. All the interactions were really nice. I thought.
Yeah.
The lack. There's a market where you can build certain resources, but of course you have to make sure that there are workers for those resources. You don't want to go heavy with getting red cards if there are no red workers or green workers. I think we had a absence of green workers in our game.
Oh yeah, because you took them all out.
Yeah, it's totally did. So super fun game, and looking forward to playing that again in the future. Maybe if a copy were to end up in our mailbox.
Wish list.
It's on my wish list now. So that's Ceres by Artipia.
Yeah.
My number 7 is your number 7.
Oh, what's up?
So Tim from Dice Tower West played Ceres with us. He also introduced this game to us called The Brain from 999 Games.
Brain.
So, this is one of those games, sort of like The Mind, where you've got information about your cards, but you can't say anything about them. So, you are given several cards. They have colors on them and they have symbols on them, and some of them have special abilities. It's really weird because the name of the game is The Brain, but there seem to be fantasy creatures on the cards.
It doesn't really line up.
Dragons and spiders and geese for some reason. And
ghouls. And cats. It's like Halloween almost.
It's almost Halloween, and it's almost fantasy, and it's almost nursery.
It doesn't know what it wants to be.
It's also fairy tales.
Yeah.
Like the Golden Goose or
sure.
It's almost like all of those, but really like none of them. But I don't know how it integrates with something called The Brain. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that the area in front of us does not fill up with cards. And we have a certain hand limit for our hand size. We want to try to get all of the cards out of our hands and off the table to the point where we're not exceeding the whatever they call the middle row of cards. So on your turn, you play a card, and then you draw a card. If it's a special ability, like cover up another card, or play a card and take back a card into your hand. Whenever you take back a card or whenever you give a card to another player, it goes face up. Everyone knows what it is. And that's really helpful, because if I know that her geese can scare away dragons, then I want to fill up a lot of dragons here in the middle row. That way, when it's her turn, she goes, boom, geese. Bye-bye, dragons. Because that actually happens. Geese scare dragons. I don't know why.
It makes sense.
I guess. So, you really took to this game.
I liked it a lot. I mean, we did play 3 times.
Yes, which we don't usually do.
No, not really. I think it's interesting. Like, well, I have a hand of bad cards. I need to play one of these bad cards. And then Michael's like, why are you playing that? I'm like, because they're all bad. Like, what am I going to do?
Well, to be fair, I can't say why you're playing that during the game. After the game, I'll say, why'd you play that?
So I might have tanked us a few times, but, it's the game. What are you going to do? I got to play.
Got to play something.
So I think it's a fun challenge, and you can ramp up the difficulty by having fewer cards in the middle or fewer hand size or whatever it is. So yeah.
Now there's one minor quibble.
Oh yeah, there's
that I
one
have with this game.
the house rule, because the designer don't know.
Here's the rule. The rule is that the drawing the card is optional. And so someone pointed out on the BGG forums that the best way to play is to shed your hand of cards and don't draw anything. Then one player has perfect knowledge. And yes, that is true, but the designer gets out of this by saying, while it's easier with lower player counts, the object of the game should not be to not play. But why have this as a rule to begin with?
Yeah, just always draw.
Make them draw a card.
Yeah, just always draw a card.
And he says, well, the drawing of the card is always the easiest thing to forget. No, make them draw a card. And he's like, oh, well, you can't really say that they should draw a card because you can't give any information. No, be adults. Say, if someone doesn't draw a card, go draw your card. It does not change the game at all.
No.
Anyway, that's my quibble with the game. Is
it still made our number 7 because we like the game.
Still
it's just
made
a matter of that one rule.
You're
gonna house rule.
There are plenty of games where it's an enjoyable game, but there's a problem with the game that should have been fixed.
Yeah.
And we can still have a fun time with it.
Oh, for sure.
That's my one issue with the brain. Still good enough to make number 7.
Yep.
So that is my number 7. Your number 7. My number 6. We've already talked about. It's Task Team from Gigamik. Like I say, I was really pleasantly surprised with this game. Playing solo, I did not feel like I was hamstrung. I was just the one that did all of the challenges. I didn't have to confer with my teammates because I was my only teammate. And I was actually doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think I had two challenges by the time someone else had 3 and the other team had 1. So I was doing fairly well.
Yeah.
So
rude.
Rude. Highly recommend Task Team. We will play it on stream at some point.
I don't know how, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know how, but we'll figure out how to do it.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
All right.
So that is my number 6. Your number 6. It's a game I have not played.
No. I sat down to learn SETI.
Not yet released.
Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence from Czech Games Edition. I didn't realize it was like such a big game. Like, it looked big.
It looked big.
But I mean, it took us 3 hours. I was not expecting like a 3 hour. I mean, this is probably the heaviest Czech game there is. I mean,
really?
Deal with the Devil's kind of heavy and long. So sure.
Kunahora's pretty deep.
It's like
medium
90 to 2 hour game. Like, it's not.
But this is bigger.
This has a lot of brain burning things going on. So it's
brain.
Yeah, you're gonna really like.
You think you're gonna love it?
I do. This is, you're doing all sorts of things, right? So it's not
trying to find the alien life.
Yeah, it's not a one path strategy sort of game. You have a lot of different options. You do want to find the aliens. You do want to connect with them. Shrey and I had similar strategy, and we kind of blew it out of the water because I think the other guys didn't exactly hone in on their strategy, like to the point where, like, I could see where their strategies could have gotten up in point.
Is it worker placement?
No,
But
it's like action. It's like action selection where you do something and you spend the resources. It's more like a
resource.
Yeah, it's more like Terra Mystica, sort of what you're doing in that. It's kind of relatable to what you're doing in this, even though it's totally separate, you know? Like, but what you're doing like a couple things on your turn, like small things, and you just keep going around until everybody passes. So it's
you run out of stuff to run out of juice.
I think it's like 5 rounds or something, but there's a lot to do. So
also, I understand the aliens are different.
Yeah, you don't know what you're gonna
play. You don't know the aliens you're gonna. I'm gonna love this game. I already know it.
So it's cool. There's you're exploring the space, and then you're trying to send out signals, and you're trying to like figure out the alien, like all the stuff you do in
all
space
the stuff.
Game, this is going to be a lot of people's game of the year. I already know it.
Wow. Not yet released.
No.
But worth putting on your wish list.
Oh, for sure. Especially
if you are interested in games made by CGE, or you're interested in space themes, or
heavy. It's fairly
it's not at all similar to Search for
Not
Planet.
at all. That's
not a deduction game.
Yeah, this is not deduction. This is a big meaty space game.
Big meaty space game.
But it's not a 4X game or anything. It's
right.
There's card play, there's move around space play, there's talk with the alien play, but it's not like fight each other, so there's no combat.
Bree says that there's the name Search in the title for each.
Yeah,
correct.
But it's not. You are searching for the aliens, but it's not a deduction game at all.
You're searching for them, but it's like it looked like action paths on this board where you're reaching the aliens on the
like plop a satellite down, and then you get like access to certain things on different planets, and so you do those things, and you get points that way. And
I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, there's a lot. It's a lot. It's a big game. It took like an hour to teach us the game. I mean, it's not a small game. So if you like big, heavy Euros, this is it. You'll love it. It's great.
Sounds good to me. That's your number 6, SETI from CGE.
That's right.
My number 5 is not on your list.
Didn't quite make the list.
Did not quite make the list, and I know why. So I can't wait.
But
I can't wait to hear what you have to say. It is From the Moon by Le Boisjeu and Hachette. In this game, you are trying to you're basically starting on the moon and then moving out to settle Mars and Titan and Europa. In order to do this, you have certain astronauts that are going out on the moon rovers. You're going out around the surface of the moon to gather up resources or to do certain abilities. So at its heart, it is basically a worker placement game.
Yeah.
Here's the catch, though. Be careful about there are like 3 different colors of astronauts: blue, gray, and black. You have to put them in the moon rovers where you want them, because you can't move them once you've placed them.
Unless they die.
Unless they are removed they die. It says to remove them. Who knows if they died or not? No astronauts were actually harmed in the making of this game. Oh, they died. Okay. So you're going to place your rover on one of the one of the grid spaces, basically like a 4x4 grid. You're going to do whatever it says on the space. And then each of the astronauts, there's 3 seats. You don't have to have it filled, but each astronaut is going to do one thing. You also have specialist astronauts, and it's really cool how they have it, because the little astronaut is a mini. The little specialist tab is a mini that fits in the backpack. It sort of like clicks in. And so if he has the little backpack marker, then he is a specialist, and he can do 2 actions instead of just 1. So basically, If you go around and collect up all the resources you need, if you have enough of them, maybe you can create one of the modules that goes to Mars or Titan or Europa. That's going to give you some victory points. And you can improve that module, which will give you even more victory points. Then once all of the modules have been created, they don't have to be upgraded. They just have to be created. That module launches and you're going to get some amount of points. You want to be the one who's built the most modules. You want to be a player that has built the most improvements as well, because those give you
very little points, let me tell you.
It's because you did a lot of improving.
I tried.
And I did a lot of building.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter for either of us because we scored 3rd place and 4th place out of 4. So
it's like in this game that there's a one path to victory.
And
to do well. I mean, you need to build to get unlocked bonuses when you do income. And if you don't do that, you're gonna just lose. So
it's
unfortunately
hard to catch up.
Once you're behind, you're done.
Also, there are different player powers that will give you unequalness, we should say, where I've got more astronauts, but you have more something else, and someone else has
a good thing.
That's generally a good thing.
Is it? We don't really know.
Well, that's the question: is if there are only certain paths to victory, which I'm not sure yet.
Hard to say.
But I do enjoy the worker placement aspect of everything.
There's a lot of good things. I think this barely missed my list because there are a lot of good redeeming features about this game. It's just a matter of if you try something and it's not working, you will lose.
Well, also...
you will lose badly.
Also, yeah, that will hold true with if you accidentally put the wrong color astronaut into the rover, again, it's stuck there. There is absolutely zero way to pop a guy out of a rover.
Right.
Other than take the action that will pop him out of the rover. For example, take an action and then pay 4 resources that you can't possibly get because you don't have the right things in the right places. Right. And I think that's what ultimately killed you.
The other comment about the game when we were playing it was the rule book tells you how to play the game, but there's no like fact or like once you have a question, you will never find the answer to that question. And then we had a ton of questions because of different powers, different things that were happening that we didn't understand how it worked. And there's nothing about like there's no nitpicky points about things. So that was the other comment we had while we were playing, that we, maybe wait to play this until there's a pretty good fact about what's what.
Right.
So that's it.
Some of the iconography.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the last big thing is there was a runaway leader, Nils, who we love dearly, absolutely exploited his path to victory, getting 167 points. His friend Martin, who we met that time, when that was the first game we played together, scored 114, so a full 53 points less. I scored barely behind Martin at 105. Steph with 67 whopping points.
It was a big
less than half.
Let's just say my strategy did not work.
Less than half of what Nils had.
It's awful.
It seems really disparate. I think this had the ability to go higher on my list, but those little things just really made it feel a little off.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, I love the worker placement, and it was good enough to get number 5 on my list.
That's pretty good.
From the Moon, would not mind reviewing that to show you guys. From La Boîte de Jeux, hopefully it gets picked up over here. Hopefully Hachette puts it out here in the States.
Yep.
You're number 5?
My number 5.
We got to talk about it.
We already talked about it a little bit. It's Word Traveler. I liked it a little bit more than you. I like these kind of word games, trying to get people, deduce people into certain ways of thinking. So this did a really good job for me. I enjoyed it quite a bit, so I'm glad we did play it. I like that it ramps up where like you try and hit 3 points and then you try and hit 5 points. So that was kind of fun too. And it plays fast. I mean, we played it 40 minutes or so. It's like So
My one quibble with the game could have been fixed, and I'll explain how. You said that there were 4 maps.
yeah.
Whether there are 2 or 4, the maps are static.
Yeah.
And so, well, let me explain. You always have to start off in the start. You're always having to go one of the 4 cardinal directions, no diagonals. So you're either going to do 3 north, 3 south, 3 east, or 3 west. Those are always going to be the 3 to the north, the 3 to the south, the 3 to the east, and the 3 to the west. This could have been fixed
Tiles.
with tiles or a deck of cards.
Oh, sure.
That could be integrated or not if you want a specific New York deck and a London deck or whatever. But no, they made it a static board. They could have improved it quite a bit by making that more random.
That's fair.
Because you'll always have the bodega next to whatever it was next to the bodega. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
but
sure.
It was the same exact. It was like, oh, anytime I'm on that row, I'm going to have that and that to deal with.
Yeah, I get your point.
Anyway.
That could have been tiles or cards, yeah. That's okay. I still like it a lot.
Yeah. So that is your number 5 word, Traveler from Office Dog. My number 4, we just finished playing Epochs Course of Cultures from Ice Makes. Again, this is something that could have gone a little higher, except the thing that I feared is the warmonger strategy. I think the warmonger strategy just does not work in this game. Maybe to the point where maybe they wanted it to be punishing enough to really make you decide, do you really want to go with the warmonger strategy? Because I think you just lose so much by going warmonger.
Oh, for sure.
You have to basically not have any trading posts so you don't lose that to begin with, and that you don't care, and that you go do it late enough in the epic that no one can attack you back, because otherwise you're going to get hammered by the game and then hammered by your opponents.
Yeah, for sure.
Other than that, I think it's a fantastic Civ game.
Yeah.
Nice. That hopefully you don't go to war because, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you just got beat down.
Yeah, I was beat down.
Yeah.
That was a beat down for sure.
Beat down.
Provided by Ice Makes.
Ice Makes.
Yep.
Your number 4.
My number 4. I played with Dan.
Hi, Dan.
So we're clear. It's Race to the Raft from the City of Games.
Look, it looks like the Isle of Cats kitties.
Well, guess what? It is.
Oh.
We're trying to save the cats from the burning isle. I know.
Who would do such a thing? Vash.
So, we just played the intro game, but there's like a campaign book of like, I don't know, 80 scenarios or something. And it gets harder. I mean, I know that Dan and Michael didn't love the game, but I can see a lot of potential here.
Dan said it was fun. He didn't say it was okay or fine. He said it was fun. Needs better rules. Yes.
I just see a lot of potential with this one, and I want to continue playing it further. I know it can be harder. We just played the basic game, so for me, this rating is based on what I see can happen in this, and I like the weird polyomino shapes. I know your quibble about this is like you can feel the shape. Just pull in, take one out. I never have a problem with that.
Here's the problem with that.
The little ones go to the bottom.
The little ones go to the bottom, and the big ones stick at the top.
I know.
And if you dig to the bottom, you're going to get the little ones. And if you stay at the top, you're going to get the big ones. Drawing polyomino tiles of various shapes do not work. If drawing them from a bag,
the other
it doesn't
thing you
work.
can do is get a deck of cards that have those shapes, and then you have to find it.
You have to find the shape.
The butt, but
yes,
that's the alternate, I guess, of doing it that way. So
yes.
Maybe there can be a fix somehow with that, but
or not, some people just don't care.
Like me,
like you.
I'm casual gamer, I guess.
And I'll try my best to do this, and whatever the first one is, I feel that's it. But still, it's not random.
Yeah,
it's random.
I get it, but
did not make my list.
I know it made my list because I really like it, and I see the potential here.
Yes. So one that did not make your list.
Yep, was a
And it was everybody's everyone was raving about this at the con we were just at. And it is Mind Map from Sorry We Are French and Hachette.
provided by the publisher.
Provided to us by the publisher, which we have right up here. So in Mind Map, you are basically taking you have one of the words that is laid out, like we'll deal out 6 different words, and you're going to be given a number, and that is your word. Like my number is 3, so bus is my word. Then there's going to be another word in the middle of the grid, and then 2 things on the axes, which will say is fun to have at a party and is not fun to have at a party. The more fun it is at a party, you have to be high on the axis. If it's not fun at a party, you'll go low on the axis. And then the other one is going to say, I don't know, is very colorful. If it's more colorful, you're going to go far out on the axis. And if it's not very colorful, you're going to go low on the axis. But you're comparing it to the noun in the middle, like centipede. I think a bus is probably more fun at a party than a centipede.
Well, yeah.
So I will put my marker high. But a centipede might be, is it more colorful or less colorful than a bus? It depends on what you think of a centipede. If it's just a little black centipede, then yeah, my bus is more colorful than a centipede.
Yes.
But in some people's minds, it might be different.
Centipede.
I'm just throwing out a word. Why's it got to be a bus? So I'm going to place my token out there while everybody else is placing their tokens on this grid. And then everyone is going to vote on what we think each person's secret word is.
This is competitive.
It is competitive.
But you want people to guess yours so you get more points.
Yes.
So you want to like...
You want to guess people's and you want people to guess yours. So I think in that way, this party game gets that part right, where a lot of party games fail. So,
No, Dan never raves. So let's just put it that clearly.
Not everyone was raving,
Yeah,
says
'cause
Dan.
Dan never raves.
Everyone that we played it with seemed to like it.
Yeah, I think so.
So,
Yeah.
except you.
I liked it.
It didn't make your list.
I mean, there's a lot of games.
It was a heavy month.
I learned 50.
It was a heavy month.
I know.
So, it was good enough for it to make my number 3 game.
Nice.
Mind Map from Sorry We Are French.
Yeah, that's good.
Hopefully it gets picked up in the States.
Oh, yeah. Should have been doing this.
Yeah, because you are working on your number 3 game. Hey, we played this on stream. It was the first game we played in the new house.
Awesome.
And the first game that got 2 plays in the new house, too. So Jay can put that down as his another check mark.
It's Core of Discovery from Off the Page Games.
Provided to us.
Yes. It is prototype currently on Kickstarter.
Prototype provided to us, I
Yeah.
should say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Currently on Kickstarter, so don't wait. It'll be too late.
Too late.
This game's so
Jeff, you know.
good. I love it. It's cooperative deduction, where you have knowledge of how things work on the board depending on what scenario you're doing. They're going to change up. It's all these spaces are hidden, so as you are exploring, you're figuring out how the map's kind of laid out, and you have a task that you need to accomplish in order to win the game. And so sometimes it's kill the monster, sometimes it's kill 4 monsters, sometimes it's do this task and then kill monsters, and or whatever it is. I've played 2 different scenarios.
Sometimes it's kill the humans.
Oh, Michael wants to be the traitor. So if you back it on Kickstarter, there's a whole lot of options to like add extra content, and that's one of the content.
The Maldonado expansion.
Yeah. So this game was really fun. I got to try it, and I'm like, Jay, let me show it on stream. So I got to bring it home, and we got to play it on stream for you guys. And so make sure to check out that video.
We even played the same scenario twice, different maps.
Different maps, so we didn't know.
So we didn't know where anything was, and it was still fun the second time we played that expansion.
It's changed.
It's going to change.
Changes. the way that the events come out changes. So your whole gameplay is going to change based on what's happening, what characters you are, what gear you have, the strategies you're going for. So I think there's a lot of good replay value here, and
I think so
the
too.
different scenarios have different maps, so you don't have to play the same scenario every time. Meaning, like the Insecta is going to have different rules than the fauna, and so your gameplay is going to feel different every time you
Right.
play it. So.
And if you get the Kickstarter version, you're going to get extra maps on top of that.
Oh yeah.
That was my one technical complaint, is that once you've run out of maps, then you've played them all. Well, with having more maps, you're going to forget where things are located. You're not going to be like, oh, that's the one with the zigzag mountain rock area, or hey, that's the one with 3 teepees together. You're not going to remember all of that
But then again,
for
like,
every single map. And if you do, if you have played this game 30 or 40 times,
you've really gotten your money's worth.
I'm
gonna say, like, how often are you playing a game that many times?
We never.
Pathfinder,
yes,
but that's rare, especially these days.
we
got a lot of games to play.
Yes.
But it's just, there's so much content that I don't think you'll get bored. And if you do, by the time you're bored with it, you're gonna get new content with the Kickstarter that they're gonna come out with, like with the more expansion packs or whatever. Like, I don't know.
I agree. And Jay, think about making an app that will generate you a map that you can print off. I think that there's something there. I think that there's something there.
And fans are gonna make their own. I mean,
yeah,
I just know that this game's gonna be big. Like, I love it. I think it's great.
Because Floodgate has a Sagrada randomizer.
Decorum too.
Decorum and Decorum is really specific.
That's really specific.
And has certain criteria that have to be met. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And two things might not work together, but Floodgate has managed to make it where you can have it random.
That's right.
Jay, something to work on.
Yeah. We both really like this.
So. I said during our stream that I would be surprised if this did not hit my top 10. We will have to see if this does indeed hit my top 10.
That's right.
So that was your number 3?
Yep. Your number 2.
My number 2 is Ceres from Artipia. Of all of the super heavy resource allocation, worker allocation sort of, and all of them space-based games. Well, no, Epochs is not space-based. Anyway, this was, I think, my favorite. Playing this with Tim, everything seemed to flow really easily.
Yeah, the flow is what really just sets it apart from like something like
from the moon.
Yeah.
That said, I really exploited the ice strategy I started with. I didn't really know what to do, so I went one direction and stuck with it, and it really seemed to help me in the end. But I guess it depends on, what your initial abilities and cards are. Do you go after certain things? And so that's what I ended up doing. I enjoyed it. I hope there's not just one path to victory. If there's not, I think this game will have a lot of replay value.
Yeah, it's nice.
And that is Ceres from Artipia. Your number 2 is a big one.
Yeah, it's really big. It's a prototype. I can say it's not Seven Wonders Duel.
It's not.
No.
However, it is created by Antoine Bauza.
Yeah, and Bruno
Cathala. And I think, can you show it? Can you show the picture? The one that I sent to you.
I didn't blow it up.
I think you need to get it. That's the one you need to show.
All right.
Put it in your little picture thing and then blow it up big.
Okay, I'll try.
She's looking for it.
I'm going to try. I can't talk much about it. It's not announced yet.
Can't talk about it, but
they did
this is from Asmodee's post. That. Save image. Okay. That one. That's the one you can show. Okay. Put it there and make it big. Okay. That one.
This is what I show.
This is the game. That's all they showed. That is the game.
I can't say anything. It's not Seven Wonders Duel though.
So,
But
by the creators of Seven Wonders Duel. Dice Breaker
yes,
posted about it.
it
is Gollum.
It is Gollum.
This game might become your precious.
It might become your precious. It has art by Vincent Dutray, which obviously amazing. I will talk more about it when I can. Obviously, it's the game is amazing.
Number 2 on her list. Now, it's not on my list because I didn't get to play it.
Looks good. It is great.
Look how beautiful that is. It's so beautiful.
This game will also be many people's number 1 of the year, I think.
Could be.
Definitely, I think. Yep. I know. Anyway, I wouldn't normally talk about prototypes, but I feel so strongly about this one that.
Is this the time I'm supposed to bring up the fact that I won the Seven Wonders World Championship of the Galaxy, beating Antoine Bauza himself?
We played Seven Wonders with Antoine Bauza and Stephen
Burnell, who we always play. Seven Wonders, the World Championship of the Galaxy universe. We make it bigger each time. We added Antoine.
He was sitting opposite Michael. I was sitting opposite Seven. And Seven and I were like, we're not letting Antoine win this game. So we fed Michael the win, I guess, somehow. That was epic. That was such a great game.
It was epic.
It was great. So
that was the right time to talk about it, right?
About Repo. So
and I will never give up my 8th copy of Seven Wonders.
No.
Because copy number 8 of Seven Wonders, I call it the 8th wonder. I will never get rid of it. It's awesome. So that is your number 2. Hey, it's time for my number 1 and your number 1. My number 1. Yes, you probably guessed it. Jay can be happy that I indeed put Core of Discovery on my top 10. No, it is my number 1 game of the month.
For sure.
I rated it number 1 because of the 2 Insecta games that we played. I rated it number 1 because of the possibility of what that hidden trader aspect might be. The fog rules to do the discovery for that expansion seems great. I love the hidden map. I just love it. So I love that it is cooperative or mostly cooperative, depending on the expansion that you play. It's just got so much goodness in it. By all means, go check out our rules teach and playthrough of this and go back it on Kickstarter before it's too late.
Barry, I do think it'd be a great solo game too.
Yeah, it would be. It seems like it would be fun.
Yeah, I don't see why it would be. I mean, it's a logic puzzle, so yeah.
Let's see. It does.
It's that kind of thing. Hey, Elman.
It says 1 to 4 players.
Yeah, I mean, you could be a couple characters. You could be one character. I mean, I don't see why it would. You'd probably want to be a couple characters to get.
Right, because there's no hidden information between the two of us. So we could have played 4 characters if we wanted to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a great game. I'm glad you liked it. I knew you would.
Yeah, for sure.
I know you would.
In a really heavy month, rose to the top, Core of Discovery from Off the Page Games. Your number 1.
It's kind of cheating.
Is it a new game?
This is what I've been asking myself for like 4 days.
I mean, the story is it's a new entry on BGG. Therefore,
entry on BGG. It's Eclipse Second Dawn for the Galaxy.
So you had played Eclipse New Dawn,
but
not Second Dawn.
I've played Eclipse like
a million times,
100 times. I've played a lot of Eclipse in my day. But I had not played Second, and I've been wanting to for so long. I've actually owned it for a while, and I've kept both the old and the new because I'm like, I don't know what to do.
Now you still don't know.
I still don't know what to do. Well, there's a lot of really great things that they added to this edition. So yeah, this is my number 1 of the month. I love Eclipse. Do I think it belongs in my number 1 position because it's Eclipse or because of the changes? It's kind of a blend of both, but the changes are not big. I wouldn't say they're very big changes. Like they added some extra discovery tiles.
They refined it.
Is it different enough? I don't know. It's not like the difference between Mansions of Madness and Mansions of Madness Second Edition.
Clearly, second is better.
Well, yes, but
Because I played first and it was a
there's
train wreck.
much bigger change with something like that.
Yes.
This doesn't feel like that big of a change, but I have to acknowledge that it's still amazing and that I love it and that I don't know what to keep. So because I love them.
So Eclipse First has the expansions.
Yeah.
And the promos
Yeah.
and all of that.
Yep.
Second does not yet, but likely will.
It likely will. I think they're coming. There's been a lot of discussion on the forums about that.
Mm.
But yeah, it's tough because they added a lot of like extra little things that I do really like.
Mm.
But one thing I really don't like. So it's
what is it?
So when you get technologies, you put them on your and like, oh, I've had this technology now, I can upgrade my ships or whatever. But it doesn't tell you the cost of energy for that part. So you either have to look at the handbook to see how much energy it's going to cost you to put that part on the ship, or you have to look at the tray. So it's just like if they just added it to the upgrade, if they added it to the technology tab.
Is it in first?
Honestly, I can't remember. It's been so long. I feel like it was because it bothered me so much in this game.
Well, you'll have to look.
I'll have to look, but it's a little thing like that where it's like I get it if they are trying to keep things separate, like so because I know like if you just put away the game and you just slide everything over here, it's like okay, well now what's what, and like I should have done this and that, whatever.
Do an Eric Martin on it.
Oh God, no, that'd be horrible for Eclipse. Don't do that. But actually, I really like that about this edition that it comes with these nice trays. Everything's like beautifully like
that's
true. And it's like oh boop.
But you also have a really nice organizer for first.
Ew.
It makes it a really hard decision.
Do I need both? Jelfia needs both. Maybe I need both too.
Why not both?
Why not both? I don't. Anyway, it's Eclipse. It's epic. It's great.
We do have it. It was not provided by a lot of pellet.
Nope. This is just playing it.
Just playing it.
I might play it again tomorrow. It's been like 3 games of it in 2 weeks. It's
so
like
I had four.
amazing.
I had 4 from the publisher. You only had 3 from the publisher. So it was a light month for the publisher. To be fair,
We'll probably get SETI as
we'll
review.
probably get SETI because CGE is really good to us.
So much I might request that as well.
Well, the City of Games has always been good to us
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
likely.
Maybe Repos, I'll get that special game.
Maybe Artipia. They've sent us stuff before.
It's true. I did request it, but they said no at the time. But that was that.
That was before I rated it number 2.
It was then. This is now.
That's right. So, recap of our top 10 for those of you who missed it. Number 10, my number 10 was Word Traveler from Office Dog. Number 9, Forest of Fate from Cards of Fate. Number 8, Port Royal Dice from Pegasus Spiel. Number 7, The Brain from 999 Games. Number 6 is Task Team from Gigamic. Number 5, From the Moon by La Boîte de Jus and Hachette. Number 4, Epochs Course of Cultures from Ice Makes. Number 3, Mind Map from Sorry, We Are French and Hachette. Number 2, Ceres from Artipia. And then number 1, Core of Discovery from Off the Page Games.
My number 10, Task Team from Gigamic. Number 9, Epochs Course of Cultures from Ice Makes. Number 8, Ceres from Artipia. Number 7, The Brain from 999999 Games. Number 6, SETI, Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence from CGE. Number 5, World Traveler from Office Dog. Number 4, Race to the Raft from the City of Games. Number 3, Corpse of Discovery.
Core
of Discovery from Off the Page Games.
Corpse would be.
Yeah. No E at that. Number 2, Top Secret, not Seven Wonders Duel prototype from Repos. Number 1, Eclipse, Second Dawn for the Galaxy from La Defel.
And there's our top 10.
Good month.
It's a good month.
May is going to be better because we're settled and now we can play all the games that we didn't play in the past 2 months.
We're settled. None of the games on the shelf.
Exactly. Nothing's settled.
But
we move, you move forever.
This is it. This is it for us. So
yes.
This is where we're moved to, and we might change to a streaming room, but this works for now.
For sure.
Glad to be back and glad to provide our top 10 to y'all. And she gives thumbs up.
So fun.
So, if you enjoy our videos and you want a lot of rules, teaches, and setups and playthroughs, hey, you can find a whole bunch of those on YouTube at BoardGamerSteph, or you can join us on twitch.tv/BoardGamerSteph every Wednesday and Sunday night at 5 p.m. Central, where we stream 3 games or more almost every single stream. Maybe not tonight, but almost every other stream.
Most things when they're not like 3-hour long like playthroughs and teaches and all that stuff.
That's right.
Yeah, every other night. Yeah.
Every other night. So come join us on Twitch where we play
all the games. And for those on Twitch, we'll be right back.
Whoa.